have a patient, when you have an enrollee that only has a disabling condition, but you're not quite certain, it appears that there was no Medicare account in how an enrollee will have Medicaid without having Medicare as a disabled individual.
So typically, when you are on disability, when something happens to you and you're put on disability, you have you have Social Security, which is federal, provides Social Security disability benefits, okay? But if you also qualify for Medicaid, that's state. So typically, if you are put on Medicaid, Medicaid will provide a plan for you from the state. So what happens is that there's this crossroads with a lot of these people where they're on disability and they're on Medicaid. So after 24 months, what should happen is that you should transition to Medicare, which is the federal program that you should be on after your disability. But what we're seeing happen is that these people are staying on Medicaid because they are, I believe, being recognized as having creditable coverage, so they don't transition to Medicare. So what we're having people do is just reach out to Social Security to find out what happened with that transition. Why did they not go on to Medicare? Because they should be on Medicare after 24 months. They tell us, oh, we've been on disability for years. Like, that shouldn't happen. You've probably been on Medicaid and had that plan on Medicaid through the duration of that experience. So,
is
yeah.
there also, because I think with disabling conditions, I wonder, you would imagine that if Social Security deems your disabling condition worthy for benefits, for monetary benefits, for Social Security, disability benefits, that Medicare in turn would also view that condition as a recognized condition. My concern would maybe where Medicare would turn and say, well, he's disabled, but we don't feel that he's disabled enough for him to qualify for Medicare. What's the crossroads there between the social benefits? I would imagine they have to have the same threshold of condition there, wouldn't they? So wouldn't Social Security's determination of disability match that of Medicare, or would Medicare turn, even if the Social Security Department said it is a condition that we view as disabling, and we're going to award you this disability benefit? It would align with Medicare, would have the same outcome. Would you imagine would there be a fall off?
So that's a good question, but Medicare does not determine the level of disability. All they do is they see that they've been on disability for 24 months and they transition to Medicare. The determination is between the company or the employer, an employee that got in that disability, and the filing to get disability benefits. So yeah, you've had some people that have been trying to file. I've been trying to file for disability for years and it's not accepting me. But once they are accepted, then by law, 24 months later, they transition to Medicare and Social Security.
So that's automatic. It's just awarded to them.
Yes.
Okay, I see.
But like going back to what you said, a lot of times when they are also on Medicaid, a lot of times Medicaid and Medicare don't talk to each other. They're separate, one's state, one's federal. So what happens, like we said, is sometimes these people just slip through the cracks. They just have these state plans and Medicare just kind of bypasses them and says, oh, they've got coverage already, so they're going to stay on Medicaid. And typically, they just stay on Medicaid until they turn 65. So to conclude, you will have certain employees / clients who are under 65, who have been on disability, who should be going on to Medicare, but don't because they have Medicaid. So when we find clients like that, what we do is typically ask them how long they've been on disability, how long they've been on Medicaid, and then if there's no record of any Medicare, whether we see it in marks or they don't have a Medicare ID number, we tell them to call Social Security to find out what happened in that transition.
And then what happens at that point?
Typically they just say, well, you missed the boat, so you're just going to stay on Medicaid until you turn 65. I mean, that's what I've seen so far. I've never seen someone say, oops, well, you should have been on, because they're off disability now. They're on Medicaid. So there's no disability benefits anymore. They're strictly on the state assistance program.